السلام عليكم وأهلا بكم في live broadcast. Today we are going to be learning some basics and then learning some intermediate level speaking. Today I will focus on introducing yourself. First, you will learn how to introduce yourself on a basic level, and then you will learn to introduce yourself on a higher level. So let's get straight to it, and let's see. There it is. Okay, so as you can see, we have a file here for the beginner. I don't know if you can see me or not. Let's go back here just a second. Picture in picture. Okay, let's share again. All right, so let's get straight to the point. Here, the title says, إزاي تقدم نفسك. إزاي تقدم نفسك, and that means how to introduce yourself. إزاي means how, تقدم to introduce, nafs is the self, and the ek at the end means your. And so the whole word together is yourself, نفسك. As you can see here, we have English, we have the transliteration if you can't read Arabic, and the Arabic is right here. The most common greeting we say is Assalamu alaikum. And exactly what does that mean? Assalamu is the peace. Al in the beginning is the, and salam is peace. And ala means on, and kum means you, plural, okay? But even if you're speaking to one person, we say Assalamu alaikum. So what is the response to that? We say wa alaykum assalam. So it's the exact same thing, but you're just switching the order. It's and on you, the peace. So this is the most common greeting. You can use in any Arab country, not just in Egypt. Basically everything here you can use in any Arab country, but this is the Egyptian way, of course. So to say my name is, we say ana, and then ism, yeah, and then e at the end, yeah. And ism by itself is name, okay? And e by itself is my. So we literally say my name, okay? And then you say your name. Ana ismi Mimo, for example. By the way, this is not my real name, this is my nickname. Ana ismi Mahmoud. So this is how you say my name is. Now the next one, for age. In English you say I am, but in Arabic we actually say andi, which means have. This is also like in Spanish, if you know Spanish. So we simply say ana andi, and then your age. I hope you know the numbers already. And then after that we say sana. So we say ana andi. In my case, I'm 30, so which is 30. أنا عندي 30 سنة. Okay, and if you noticed here, I'm using sana, which is the singular, not the plural. The plural of sana, which is year, is sinin. Why did I use sana? It's because I'm older than 10. If you're 10 or less, you say sinin. Like if you're 5, if you're asking a child, of course. أنا عندي 5 sinin, that's 5 years. But if you're older than 10, 11 up, then you say sana, not sinin. So أنا عندي 30 sana. And this Y, this E is like this one, ismi, yeah, means I have. If it's someone else, عندك, عندكو, and so on. We can learn about those endings later. The next one, I am from in Arabic, we usually don't say verb to be in the present, only in special cases. So here we simply say I from. So ana min, and then you say your country. In this case, in my case, it's Masr, which is Egypt. Ana min Masr. Ana min Masr. Okay, I'm gonna look at the comments if there are any in a second to see if you can comment your age and your country. I can tell you how to say them in Arabic. And the next one here is it's an honor to meet you, or it's nice to meet you. I think this one is a bit harder than the other one, but we will learn it also and learn the other one as well. So I am honored. We say it sharraft. It sharraft. I am honored. By mu tak. And this ek is you male. It sharraft bimu'ablitak. By the way, the two here is like hamza. It's a glottal stop. It's actually this way. Okay, so اتشرفت بمقابلتك. The other way to say nice to meet you, we can say فرصة سعيدة. فرصة سعيدة. It's a happy chance. Now I'm gonna look at the comments if there are any. ماشي أولجا ازيك عامل ايه؟ أنا كويس الحمد لله. Good evening my tech. You mean teacher, right? ما شاء الله ربنا يخليك. That's good. That's good. طيب. Now let's go back to introducing ourselves. Share the screen. And okay. So let's say the whole thing together and try to practice with me, but try to input your information, of course. We say السلام عليكم. أنا اسمي محمود. أنا عندي 30 سنة. أنا من مصر. اتشرفت بمقابلتك. This is how you basically introduce yourself. Okay? Good. Now, what you need to do, practice, and that's it. Once you know how to say all of those things, you can introduce yourself. Yeah? Now, if you go to the second page, now, we will see how to ask questions. Okay, how can I ask questions to know someone? Yeah, to get to know someone when you meet them for the first time. طيب, now let's see. How are you? Now remember we said verb to be, am, is, are in the present, not really used that often, in special cases only. And how, what's the word how? It's إزاي with the double z like that. إزاي. And then ek at the end is you, male. So when you, a man or a woman, doesn't matter, you're asking a male, here I wrote to male, yeah? When you're asking a male, how are you? You say إزيك. It doesn't matter what gender you are, the person speaking, okay? So إزيك. And double Z, double Y. That's why I wrote it twice. It's not a typo, okay? إزيك. إزيك. أيك, double Y, double Z. Good. Now asking a female, doesn't matter whether you're a male or female, speaking to a female, you say إزيك. So the ek is you male, ik is you female. All right? إزيك. إزيك. And the answer to that, you say أنا كويس. كويس means good. And if you're a female speaking, describing yourself, you say أنا كويسة. Okay? Why is it different here? It's because you're describing yourself. It's an adjective now. So when you're describing male, which is yourself, you say كويس. If you're describing a female, which is also yourself, you say كويسة. So that one ending with a or ta marbuta. If you know how to read Arabic, that will help you a lot. We say كويسة like that with ta marbuta, that last letter with the two dots above it. Yeah? And that, oh, I wrote it wrong. Let's erase. كويسة. There. So we have the scene, very long here, and the two dots. This is ta marbuta, which makes it feminine. Okay, good. So when someone says ازيك, you say أنا كويس. If you're a female speaking, أنا كويسة. Now the next one. What is your name? We learned to say my name is. We say أنا اسمي. But what about your name? We don't have is also. So we say ism, which is name, and then ek. Ek means your if you're speaking to a male. And then a at the end means what? Ismak a. We usually say what at the end. In Egyptian Arabic, in the Egyptian dialect, the question words are usually at the end. Okay, not in the beginning. So, ismak a. What is your name? It doesn't matter your gender. When you're speaking to a male, you say ismak a. If you're speaking to a female, ismik a. And if you notice, there's the same pattern as before, ازيك, right? But in this case, it's the possessive. In this case, it was the object pronoun. But they are almost the same. Yani. The only one that's different is me, okay? But for now, ek can mean you, object, or your. Let's see the next one. By the way, the answer for ismak a is ana ismi, and you say your name, right? And then how old are, we don't have that. How old are you? We literally say how many year singular do you have? So inta عندك كام سنة. Inta means you male. عندك is the you have. Before we said عندي, I have. So inta عندك كام is how many, and sana. Sana is the singular again for year, even if it's a child. Whenever I say kam, how many, we always use the singular to ask about a number of whatever, yeah? عندك كم سنة? أنت عندك كم سنة? And to a female, inti, you female, عندك. See, same pattern again, ak and ik. كم سنة? How many year do you have? And the answer to that, we already learned it. أنا عندي, and you say the number, أنا عندي 30 سنة. Okay, I want to quickly look at comments. مساء الخير, مساء النور. Okay, let's go back to this. So, أنا عندي 30 سنة. We said that. Now the next one, where are you from? We don't have are. So we say أنت, and the word منين means from where. أنت منين? And to a female, أنتي, you female, أنتي منين? So the word منين by itself means from where. And the answer to that was أنا من, and then you say the country. Let's say أمريكا, أنا من أمريكا, or أنا من مصر, from Egypt. Just the name of your country. Some of the names sound exactly the same, but others do sound very different. For example, if you're from Greece, in Arabic we say Yunan. And if you're from Austria, the one next to Germany, not Australia, yeah, Austria, we say in Nimsa. Yeah, so some of them might be a bit different. Now, what do you do? Yeah, for work, we say inta بتشتغل. This 8 is like a French R. If you already know the Arabic letters, it's right there. انت بتشتغل ايه. See what at the end, a, we say it at the end. انت, so بتشتغل is the verb to work, conjugated for انت. With انت we add a b and then t. So انت بتشتغل ايه. What do you do for work? And inti, exactly the same, b and then t, but then we rhyme at the end with a y, just like the pronoun. انتي بتشتغلي ايه. And then the answer to that, we say أنا بشتغل, and then you say your job. So أنا بشتغل without the T now, because with أنا we only add the B. أنا بشتغل مدرس إنجليزي وعربي. Maybe you guessed the meaning. مدرس means teacher, إنجليزي, English, وعربي is Arabic. And this is how you basically introduce yourself and ask those very basic questions. What you need to do is practice as much as possible. Okay, now let's turn off the sharing. Are there any questions? Hi, please respond to this comment. Okay. What is it, Yani? What is the question? If you don't have any questions, then I can move on to the next topic, which is introducing yourself, but more advanced. Okay. It's not like really advanced. I would say closer to medium. So let's see. Here we are. طيب. Now here it says detailed self intro. If the if the intro before was a bit too hard for you, then yani, try not to focus too much on this one, but also listen as much as you can and take from it as much as you can. To be able to use this introduction, you should know a little bit about the past tense. You should know, yani, you should have some background to be able to, use all of this information. So anyway, الدرس الأول. By the way, this is the first lesson in my second beginner course. Okay, this is what you learn basically. It says here beginner 2, lesson 1. Anyway, تقديم, introducing النفس, the self, بالتفصيل, with detail. Okay, great. Now let's see. The first word to be born, we say it walad. It walad. You can read it in English letters. And if you want to say I was born, I need to conjugate this for the past. So when you say ana, basically you add t at the end, and it becomes ana it walat. It walat. Okay, and you want to say I was born in something, you say أنا اتولدت في. في means in, by the way. مصر. I was born in Egypt. أنا اتولدت في مصر. Okay, good. How do I say from Kubaku? How do I say I am a student? The word for student is طالب. طالب. Okay, أنا طالب. Where can we find that chart? Those are my those are my course files, Yani. I'll say more about that. Yeah. طيب. Let's go back to the thing itself. So, I was born in Egypt. We say أنا اتولدت في مصر. Now, because this verb, اتولد, it's 5 letters. If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we don't get rid of this alif to conjugate for the past. If it's 4 or less, we usually get rid of the alif, and we will see. To grow up is akbar, akbar. Yeah, from the word kibir, meaning big. So akbar, the verb, akbar. Now, to make it the past tense, I grew up somewhere. We will get rid of the alif or the a, and then put the T for ana for the past tense, right? Put the T right there. So how can I say I grew up in whatever country? In my case, I grew up in England. So we say ana كبرت في, and then England is إنجلترا. أنا كبرت في إنجلترا. So you see, from the very beginning, it's a more detailed introduction. Before, you just said your name, your age, the country, and that's it. Yeah. But here you're saying, I was born here, I grew up here, I lived in this country, I studied this. Yeah. طيب. Now let's see the next word, to live. أعيش. أعيش. So if you want to say I lived, get rid of the alif and put the T at the end, yeah? And it becomes أنا عشت. So I want to say I lived in England for whatever number of years. We say أنا عشت في, again, إنجلترا, let's say 10 years. I want to show you how سنة becomes سنين, yeah? 10 سنين. In this case, I don't say سنة. Why? Because it's 10. If it's more than 10, I say سنة. So here I say أنا عشت في إنجلترا 10 سنين. I lived there 10 years. It was actually, anyway. To study, is أدرس. Again, 4 letters, so get rid of the alif here, get rid of the A, and then put the T at the end. Yeah, put the T. So I want to say, for example, I studied engineering, which is true. أنا درست. The T like that, درست. هندسة. أنا درست هندسة. Yeah? Okay, let's take a look. Any... No. طيب. Going back. أنا درست هندسة. Great. Now let's move on. The verb to finish. Yeah? To finish. أخلص. خلص. And by the way, lam is supposed to be pronounced twice. There's supposed to be shadda here. But of course, we don't add any tashkil, almost never, because we already know how the word is supposed to sound like. And that is why I always say, to improve your reading in Arabic, first you need to improve your speaking, because when you know how the word sounds like already, you won't have much trouble trying to figure out, is it fatha, kasra, dhamma. People who are trying to read, they know what I mean. And so yeah. So أخلص. So if I want to say I finished, we get rid of the A and put the T. Yeah, so it's خلصت. Okay. Now the next one, to graduate. If you want to say, for example, I finished school, I finished work in this company, I finished blah blah blah. To graduate is أتخرج with a double R also, with shadda like that. أتخرج, if you count the letters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we keep alif in this one and we just add the T for the past tense. I want to say I graduated in 2013. We say أنا اتخرجت في in 2013. 2013. Okay, this one is too long. Guess you can see it. There. أنا اتخرجت في 2013. Graduated in 2013. And the next one, to work, is أشتغل. If you count, it's 5 letters. So we keep alif, put the T. And you can say أنا اشتغلت في مصر, اشتغلت في أمريكا, اشتغلت في this or that. And the next one, to travel, أسافر. Now this one is special because it has alif in the middle. So we are going to get rid of this alif for the past tense. And it's going to be سافرت, which is I traveled, or I didn't, maybe. It depends. Yani you can use any of the words to introduce yourself. To get married, أتجوز, the waw twice. So you want to say I got married, keeping alif because it's longer than 4. So we say أنا اتجوزت. And then you can say 4 years ago. How do I say 4 years ago, for example? We say min. Min in this case means from or ago. Yeah. Min 4 سنين. If it's more than 10, we say سنة, right? So أنا اتجوزت من 4 سنين, which is not exactly true. To give birth. And by the way, here it means not physically give birth, it means to have kids, yeah? Because this word men can say as well. It's خلف, also with shadda. So we get rid of the A and put the T at the end, and the same in the Arabic text here. So you can say أنا خلفت, I had children, yeah, not physically gave birth. Now here we have some words you can use as well, some nouns to help you with your introduction. We have Medina, which is city. If you want to say where you were born, in which city, you can say مدينة. أنا اتولدت في مدينة القاهرة, اتولدت في مدينة New York, and so on. The next one, madrasa, which is school, and then university is جامعة. How would I say I graduated from blah blah university? You say أنا اتخرجت from, right? When you graduate from somewhere. So min, it means from in this sentence. اتخرجت من جامعة what? New York. Let's say New York. Let's stay with this city. من جامعة New York. Yeah. So this is how you say I graduated from something something university. If you notice, I said جامعة because ta marbuta is pronounced when it's belonging to something. So the University of New York, this of, we pronounce the ta marbuta. Usually we just say جامعة if it's by itself. and then work, the noun, like the job itself, yeah. شغل, you can say أنا عندي شغل, and this means I have work, like you have work to do. And then hospital is مستشفى. Those are very common words you should learn. Apartment is شقة with a double qaf. By the way, qaf in Egyptian Arabic is pronounced like Hamza most of the time, okay? But we do pronounce qaf sometimes. It depends on the word. And then army is Geish. You want to say, I finished the army. If you went in Egypt, we have to go. Like if any male has a male brother, then they would have to go. الفيديو مش واضح. Oh, the picture is not clear? Really? I don't know what to do. That internet. And then after Geish, we have walad, which is boy, and then bint. You can say أنا عندي ولد, meaning I have a son or a boy, and أنا عندي بنت, which means a girl, and it can also mean daughter. Now let's use those words in a text to give you an example of how to introduce yourself. Now, إزاي تقدم نفسك? How to introduce yourself. Now we're going to look at both the Arabic and the English text in case you don't know how to read Arabic. And I'm going to explain the whole thing, and that's going to be it, yeah, for today after that. So, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. This is a typo, should be M. أنا اسمي محمود. أنا اسمي محمود, that we learned from last time. أنا عندي 29 سنة. This means I am 29 years. And we said sana, not sinin. I wrote this when I was 29, yeah? Can you imagine? أنا اتولدت في مصر. أنا اتولدت في مصر means I was born in Egypt. وكبرت في إنجلترا. And I grew up in England. وكبرت في إنجلترا. طيب, the next one, أنا دخلت المدرسة في إنجلترا. دخلت means entered. This word I didn't mention in the list, yeah? أنا دخلت المدرسة, I entered school, في إنجلترا, in England, وعشت, I lived, هناك, there, حوالي, around, approximately, about 13 سنة, which is 14 years, وعشت هناك حوالي 13 سنة. بعد كده, after that, بعد كده, لما رجعت مصر, when I returned Egypt, we don't say to Egypt, we say Egypt right away. لما رجعت مصر, here, دخلت. What was دخلت? We mentioned it here, it means entered. دخلت الجامعة البريطانية. I entered the British University. ودرست هندسة, and I studied engineering. Yeah, دخلت الجامعة البريطانية ودرست هندسة. وأنا اتخرجت في, I graduated in 2013, in 2013. I graduated. وبعد كده, and after that, دخلت, again the word we mentioned. بعد كده دخلت الجيش, I entered the army. لمدة سنة. ل means for, and مدة means time period, and سنة means year. So for a time period of a year, لمدة سنة. بعد الجيش, after the army, أنا اشتغلت مدرس إنجليزي. I worked as an English teacher. Let me just fix that. وبعد سنة, and after a year, أنا قررت, I decided, سافر, to travel. That's two verbs together in a row. We already learned this if you took my first course. This is the second one, so you should be familiar with all that. أنا قررت أسافر, I decided to travel. الصين. الصين means China. And if you notice here, we don't say to China. We just say travel China, yeah? علشان أشتغل هناك, in order to work there. علشان can mean because, in order to, or for. So علشان أشتغل هناك, in order to work there. لما كنت في الصين, when I was in China, أنا اتجوزت. اتجوزت means what? It means I got married, right? By the way, this story is not 100% true. Yeah, so yeah, don't think it's true. لما كنت في الصين, when I was in China, أنا اتجوزت. yeah, with the T at the end because it's the past tense. وبعد كده, and after that, أنا خلفت. What was the meaning of خلفت? It means had a kid or gave birth. Yeah. ودلوقتي, and now, ودلوقتي أنا عندي بنت. أنا عندي بنت literally means I have a girl or a daughter. Yeah. دلوقتي, it's a new sentence. Now, أنا عايش, I live في مدينة القاهرة. I live in Cairo city. أنا عايش في مدينة القاهرة. في شقة مع مراتي وبنتي. In an apartment مع with مراتي, my wife, وبنتي, and my daughter. وإنت, and you, question mark. وإنت. Let's show the Arabic as well. وإنت ممكن تكلمني. ممكن means could you or can you. T, second verb with start with the T with إنت. تكلمني. Ni means me. This is the object pronoun me. You should know all of this from the first course. عن, about. نفسك, yourself. شوية. ممكن تكلمني عن نفسك شوية. Can you talk to me about yourself a bit? Okay. So usually as homework, after this lesson is done, the homework is to prepare an introduction like this one about yourself. Yeah. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any questions, please let me know. What's the rules of forming the past tense? Is it only removing alif and adding t at the end? Yeah. That's for ana. Like if you're conjugating for ana for yourself, we say, we do what you said exactly. But if it's a different person, then it's a bit different. I have a video on YouTube. If you go to the playlists, you'll find a playlist about verb conjugations. And there's a whole video about the past tense. You can learn everything in details for every single person. أنا, أنت, أنتي, أنتو, and so on. هذا كان مثير للاهتمام. You wrote noon at the end, by the way, it should be meme. We don't say that in Egyptian Arabic. We don't say that. We can say ده كان حلو or ده كان كويس. Thank you. You're welcome. Are there any questions before we can end this lesson today? Any questions? في أي أسئلة؟ And I think this is recorded, so I guess people can rewatch once we're done. Yalla, questions, any questions? Previous video link. There is no previous video. I was just mentioning that I have I have a recorded course, and if someone finishes the first one and they take the second, they should know like the things that I was talking about, because the second one builds on the first. Yeah, and someone was asking, where can I get this file? This file is part of the first course as well. Yeah. Now, let me quickly show you what you get. So let's share the screen. Okay, if you get the course, if you get the first one and you get here 8 lessons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And once you open lesson 1, you will have it. This is the file that I used on the left here. Then there's lesson 1, vocabulary plus story. And this is the video. You watch it, it's recorded. This is the audio for the lesson. And this is possessive endings, also some grammar. And those are the pronouns and verb conjugations for the present, past, and future. So this is what you get in the first lesson. And in the second, it's a continuation for that. Just a video. And then you get here audio again, vocabulary, story, video for the third lesson, and grammar, and all of that stuff. Yeah. So this is what I meant. Let's see. Oh my God. Hello. Hi. Meshi. Any questions? When do you always go live? There is no schedule. Whenever I'm going live, I will post about it before. I put a countdown actually on my Instagram. If you're not following already, you should. My Instagram page is Egyptian Arabic Mimo. Also on Facebook, the same thing. Let me quickly show you the page so you know what it looks like. There it is. So this is my page, Egyptian Arabic Mimo, and here you can see the courses, writing course, beginner 1 and 2, and this is the link if you want to get it. And I post almost every day. You can learn something every day. I have 1,304 videos, so make sure you watch all of those. You used to teach me on Cambly. Okay. أيوة. I don't teach English anymore. Yalla. Questions. أسئلة. Where are the questions? Are there any questions? These days I'm working on the 3rd level. So people who finish the 1st and 2nd expect something very soon. Okay, I guess there aren't any questions. خلاص. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you soon, inshallah. مع السلامة.